am now at the start of the Peddars Way, which together with the Norfolk Coast Path forms a national trail. And over the next week or so I'll be walking and camping this entire trail. It was not as easy to get to the start point. There's no bus stop nearby, so I took the train from London to Thetford and then about a 10-minute taxi ride to get to this parking area, which is the start of the trail. So I don't know too much about it. It's supposed to be very diverse, and the first section is inland towards the coast, and then the second half is following the Norfolk coastline. Yeah, so it should be very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing all the diverse nature around. I guess the benefit of starting kind of in the middle of the woods at a parking is that you immediately start the trail fully in nature, no first having to walk through a town or a city to get to the start point, which is very nice actually. So immediately I'm in the woods, it's calm and green, there's bird sounds. So definitely a very, very good start to this trail. Barely walked anything yet, but I left home 7:30 this morning and got to the beginning of the trail around 10:15, and I hadn't really had much to eat yet and I was actually already getting hungry. So I'm just sitting here on a bench having a sandwich that I brought from home. I am about 6.5 kilometers in and I've come to this rest area where there's kind of a snack bar and toilet facility, so I thought it was a good spot to take a break, have something nice and cold to drink because it's quite warm. I mean, it's the second week of August, but yeah, so far it's nice. I've seen different types of woodlands, more heathland, agricultural land, so it's already been very, very diverse in these, well, less than 2 hours I've been walking. So far, yeah, really good. Since the stop I made at that resting area where there was like the snack bar, I've walked for another hour or so, which wasn't too interesting. First I had to do like a big road crossing, which took a couple of minutes, just being patient to find a large enough gap between the cars to safely cross. Then there was a train, like a railway crossing, which they could also go underneath the track. Once I reached a village, Stonebridge, it was kind of a long tarmac path, which there was no traffic at all, but not the nicest. Now I'm back in the woods, and this should be an interesting section as everything on this side behind me, so on the left of where I'm walking, is all military area, like active shooting range. While on the other side it's just national forestry land, I think. But so yeah, apparently you can hear shooting and explosions any time of the year. I think this is gonna take also maybe an hour or so to walk this whole section, and then somewhere along the way I guess I should stop and have my lunch. It's about 3:30. I'm pretty tired, but I just passed Little Cressingham, A very tiny village, there's nothing much there. But that's the end of like the first stage as described in my guidebook. But if I go another, I think it's like 7 or 8 kilometers, there's a campsite. And even though I'm struggling, I feel like the comfort of a campsite will make me forget about the pain in my legs right now. I've tried to call them, but no one was picking up, so I'll try again later just in case. Because I don't think I'll get there before 6, which might be a bit late. So yeah, that's the plan now. Since Little Cressingham I've been walking along a tarmac road. I haven't seen any traffic, so it's fine, other than just a bit uncomfortable on the feet. But yeah, like I said, I'm just focusing on the campsite. Hopefully I can stay there, because yeah, I just prefer to stay on the campsite rather than stealth camping. It's just more relaxing, more comfortable, so fingers crossed I'll be able to pitch my tent there tonight. So that campsite, they called me back. Unfortunately, it's not possible to stay there because first of all, it's only for caravanning club members, and also they don't have any toilet facilities, so I was not able to stay there, or not allowed to stay there. So I'm only like between 20 and 30 minutes away from that campsite, which means I'm close to North Pickingham. But I need to get more water because I think I only have 1 liter left, which I need to use also for cooking my noodles for dinner. So I think I'm just gonna look if the pub in North Pickingham is still open, because so far the 2 other pubs that I've passed today were no longer in business. And so I'll go there, refill my water, and then yeah, shortly after I will try and find a place to pitch my tent. So things actually turned out for the better, so it seems at least, because the pub is closed, but I saw that just when I would enter the village there was a community center, so I thought at least hopefully I could get some water there, maybe if there's still someone there just inside, or otherwise maybe there would be an outside tap. So people were still there, and I'm actually able to camp on their ground, and they're gonna have a quiz night tonight, so the bar is gonna be open. There's gonna be a fish and chips van. I don't eat fish, but I might have some chips, so we'll see.
United States and Europe.
It is 10 o'clock now. I did join the pub quiz, which was quite nice. We got shared first place, but then we were disqualified because we were having 7 people in the team, which wasn't even really true. We only had a 7th person joining about halfway in. So, and I didn't really contribute much, but they didn't know that, so it was a bit unfair, I think, but I had fun. So it's 10 o'clock now, so I am pretty tired. I would have slept way earlier if I'd just been in my tent. It is the morning of day 2. I've slept okay. It is around 8 o'clock. I decided to just take my time because tonight I don't see any place where I would be able to pitch early, because I probably need to have a wild camp. So I need to take today really slowly so I can get to wherever I'm going to stay quite late. I've started packing up. I'm going to take down my tent. Then I'm going to just sit on one of those picnic benches I've set yesterday. I have a really small breakfast, so I'm not going to cook my porridge. I'm not going to make any coffee, because in a couple of kilometers I'll cross a big road where there's a McDonald's. I have no idea if they even have vegan breakfast options, but at least I'll get some coffee there. So that's my plan. So I'm not going to wait until like 9-10 for the cafe here to open. Also because it didn't seem they would have anything vegan or at least vegetarian. But I am gonna wait until the first people arrive, just so I can say thanks and that everything went fine, because they seemed quite concerned, like they were offering their phone numbers in case anything was happening, anything went wrong. But I said no, it's fine, I'm sure everything will be fine, and everything was fine. But yeah, just to say thank you, and also I guess I can use the toilet facilities one more time. I'm getting a little restless to get going. It's close to 8:45 now. Two people have arrived, but it seems they don't have the key, so they're just waiting outside. But since I've waited so long, then I figured I might as well wait another 5 minutes. If two people are here, it must be soon that the person with the key will arrive. Even though I don't really need to do anything inside other than just say thanks and maybe use the facilities. But I have to remind myself that I'm not in a hurry. I need to take my time, because otherwise I'm gonna either walk way too much again, or I'm gonna get to my campsite or wherever that's gonna be too early. So I just need to take it slow today. Alright, it is almost 9 and I'm ready to go. So it's just a couple of kilometers until my first break. But yeah, let's see if today is gonna be better than yesterday. I mean, than the second half of yesterday. I really loved the beginning, but after or just before Little Cressingham and up until this point, basically it was not that interesting. So hopefully today will be better, and definitely Castle Acre, where I'll get to hopefully somewhere around lunchtime. Should be a really interesting place with a lot of interesting things to see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today. I've had something to eat, a coffee and something to hydrate, and I was also able to charge my phone a little, so that's good. And now I'm back on trail, so next stop is going to be Castle Acre. And yeah, I hope to get there around lunchtime. Castle Acre is really a cute little village. This is the only main stop on the Peddars Way, where there's a pub, a small grocery store, a tea house, a fish and chip shop. Yeah, so this is the first place to buy food for the next section. Actually, for the next 2 days, basically, all the way to the coast. Castle Acres is quite a touristic place. There's an old priory and a castle. Both are ruins. The priory you can walk around for free, but if you want to go onto the ground, you need to buy a ticket, which was for non-members £13, so I didn't do that. The castle ground you can just walk around, and I'm now just sitting outside, just next to the castle ground, to have my lunch. It's 12:30 and this was supposed to be kind of my midway point for the day. So I should take a good long break before continuing. So let's see how long I can sit here before I start to get restless. miles out of Acre. I didn't stay there as long as I would have wanted to because it got quite windy, so I was getting cold and uncomfortable. So around 2 I started walking again. And this whole section up until here was mostly road walking, or maybe just like on the other side of a hedge for a while, but majority road walking, so that wasn't really nice. I think from now it's gonna change. And here there's a trick point because this is one of the high points of the Peddars Way, which doesn't say a lot, like it's mostly relatively flat, and this high point is only of 93 meters. This is the first one I've seen, but apparently there's a few more. But yeah, so far I think it's a typical day 2 for me where I don't feel very energetic. So the road walking doesn't really help, but hopefully from this point onwards it's gonna get better. This field behind me is what I had kind of in mind as a potential camp spot for the night. But it's full of sheep. I can get into the field without having to like go across a fence because there's a footpath going through it. But it doesn't seem as appealing as there was a picture in my guidebook of this place, which is why I thought it might be suitable. But clearly a different season, because now it just looks very different with the sheep and the tall grass. So I'm going to continue a little bit further because soon I'll be crossing a road, and apparently there it's a place to take a rest, like there's some tree trunks to sit on or something. So I'm going to go there, take a good break because I'm pretty tired. I think it's close to 5 now. And then yeah, just look at my guidebook again, see if there's any other potential places up ahead, or maybe walk around here a little bit more to see if there's if it looks different from a different angle. I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't look as good as I imagined it would. But it is clearing up now. It's been drizzling on and off, and now suddenly the sun has come out again, which is a good sign, and also good because the grass is now all wet, so maybe the sun can dry it off a little bit more before wherever it will be I'll be pitching my tent. But yeah, I'm going to continue down this track here for a little while longer to find that spots for taking a break. I have sat here for a while. There was no tree trunk, but that's fine. I've decided not to stay there because of the sheep. I don't want to get any ticks just in case, because it is still summer. So I'm going to go further and just keep a good eye out on a good field somewhere. And actually that would be nice because it's still 20 kilometers away to the coast, so it would be nice if I get a little chunk of that done today already. But we'll see how I feel, because I am getting some aches in my hips and my feet, so I can't be walking too much longer, I think. This place is a bit stealth. It's along the edge of a field, but it's very lumpy and like there's stones, and I'm a bit scared that it might puncture my tent, like the ground sheet, because I don't have a footprint. So this is the first kind of decent spot I've seen, but I'm not too crazy about it. So I'm thinking to just leave my bag, have a bit of a wander around, because I'm at a crossroads of like dirt tracks. So there might be a way in into another field. Well, one is full of like tents, farm equipment, because there's like another pig farm. So that won't be an option, but there might be another one just like diagonally across. So yeah, I'm just gonna look around, see if there's a better option. I've looked around, but there wasn't really any place better, because the more grassy places were not stealth at all. So I think, even though I'm really tired, I think I'm gonna continue a little more, because places like this will be easy to find, I think. So yeah, I think I'm gonna continue a little longer, just like 30 minutes tops. I found my spot for the night. It's a little bit better than the previous one. It's a bit more grassy rather than stony, so I'm just gonna give it a try. I will have a nice sunset, which will be good, I guess. More useful than a sunrise because I'll probably leave early. And there is a deer in the field. There still is one, but it's far away, so it's ignoring me, which is good. Yes, so I'm going to pitch my tent here. It's past 6:30, so I'm just gonna pitch it right away. I haven't seen anyone. I can hear pigs on the other field, and there's a farmer working in some other fields like beyond the trees, so I can hear it, but it doesn't look like this field is anything is going to happen because they've already been here. So yes, I'm just gonna pitch now and relax. I'm really tired. I walked way more than I should have today again. My tent is pitched, so it's time to make dinner. The first time I'm actually using my stove on this trail. It's just gonna be noodles, something quick and easy. I'm still quite warm, so I'm not too keen on having something hot, but if I don't cook it now, I probably won't cook it at all today, so I'm just gonna have to make myself cook and eat noodles. It's the morning of day 3. I slept really well actually. It's near 7 now. It was a bit cold and quite damp, so my tent is wet. But hopefully the sun will rise over these hedges soon. I'm going to make some tea. I don't feel like coffee, and I still have bread rolls and cheese left over from lunch. I just haven't been eating as much as I thought I would, so I'm going to have that instead of cooking porridge. And today looks like a really sunny day, which is nice for reaching the coast. I do have quite a bit of pain in my ankle, like the front of my ankle, with flexing my foot, which I've never had before, so it got really painful at the end of yesterday's walk, and it's a little bit better now, but it's still quite painful, so hopefully it's not gonna get too bad. And at least the walk today is shorter than yesterday, so maybe that will help in kind of having it rest more today, like in the afternoon and then the night. Because obviously I don't want to like really damage any muscle or nerve or anything. But yes, now first some tea, having my breakfast, and hopefully by the time I'm done, I'll be in the sunshine. I am nearly done packing. I've moved my tent a little so it's more fully in the sun, It's about 10 to 8, so I think I'll give it another 10-ish minutes to dry a bit more, and then I'll also pack up my tent. And then I'm ready for the final stretch to the coast, which I'm really looking forward to, because the coast hike was the main reason why I chose this national trail. So I am very excited to be reaching the coast later today. I am now all packed up and ready to go. It looks like it's gonna be a hot day today. I've just left Ringstead, which is the last village before the coast, and finally I can see the sea. I should have seen it before, a couple of kilometers back, but I've missed it, so it's really close now. Only 1 mile left to the beach, which is longer than I expected, but only 1 more mile. The Peddars Way. It was very windy. I'm now walking through the dunes to Old Holme-next-the-Sea, where the Norfolk Coast Path starts. I've requested a stay at a campsite for 2 nights, so if that's gonna be approved, I'll take the bus to the campsite, and then tomorrow morning I take the bus back to Holme-next-the-Sea to start walking from there. But yeah, I was not really sure how to be camping, like stealth camping here in the dunes, because it's very busy. There were signs that it's not allowed, so I don't want to risk it. So that's why, hopefully, fingers crossed, the campsite will come through. Bus from Holme-next-the-Sea to the campsite, which is great. I have a bit of a little pitch here, so I'm just gonna set up my tent, then have a shower and relax. I've been at the campsite for quite a while now. Mostly just reading, took a nap, and just relaxing, because my ankle has been really hurting a lot. Like, once I finished the Peddars Way, I took a break on the beach, but then to walk back from that place to Holme-next-the-Sea to go to the shop and to the bus station, that section I was really struggling. It was really painful. So yeah, I got some painkiller, like gel, to put on it, which I did, and hopefully if I repeat it a few times, maybe it will be better tomorrow. But so yeah, mainly I just wanted to take rest. I've just cooked dinner. I bought some ravioli at the shop that's next to the campsite. It's really quite big, and there's a cafe, several shops, groceries. So yeah, it's really nice. So it's a good idea to stay here for 2 nights. So the plan for tomorrow is to walk the first section of the Norfolk Coast Path, but just like as a day hike. So hopefully not having a heavy backpack will help with my ankle. And then yeah, I just have to see how that goes, if the pain is less or not, and then how to continue. So that's for tomorrow or after tomorrow to decide, depending on how it goes.
I should be starting the Norfolk Coast Path today, but I've decided to take a break because my ankle is still really sore. This is supposed to be the nice part. The coast path is the reason why I chose this trail. So I don't want to be bothered by a sore ankle while walking it. I really just want to enjoy it. So I am gonna take a break and the coast path some other time this summer.